This is a trade from our live forex desk. We're going to start in this trade from the cable and the US dollar. The main point of this trade was that it started from daily point of view. The daily point of view was that support levels are the Fibonacci retracements. Level number 1, as you can see on your screen, was significantly penetrated, breaking lows from November of 2011. So we're breaking in the lows. The psychology, the price psychology behind this was that it created panic in the currency. The kind of panic that people that trade those areas and start trading, selling for breaking levels of support, were caught up in a reversal in which it was the real trend. So here in SMB, we were waiting for this pivot point at level number 1 as a support, but not just that, also a fake breakdown. A fake breakdown in which not just that, but also in H4 we had our setup that we're gonna counter a rebound as a reversal of the fake breakdown and kind of like get a good swing trade on this currency as a good rebound to the upside. So in this case, we have the cable currently traded at more than 205 pips at this moment. So in H4, and one of the setups called 90% going back into reversal and possible reaching levels of 1.5550, in which at the beginning of the trade we basically had our first closing segment as one of the first targets of this trade. How it started was that after we waited the fake breakdown, we waited for the reversal of the candle. So in this case, the candle that did the fake breakdown reversed itself more than 50% of it, in which it made us activate the reversal in the long position and basically had more or less a starting point about 30 to 35 pips stop loss, pretty much the whole covering the fake of the candle. So in this case, if we initially had 35 pips stop loss on the trade, at this point at our first target, we basically had more than 3-to-1 ratio on this trade. So it was a good thing about waiting for daily pivots in the cable for the activation of the trade, then going back into reversal due to the known setup and H4, and then most important, know when you have possible pullbacks to the downside. So in this case, we exit here at 108 up plus 108, and in which, knowing since this is a swing setup, we knew due to possible correlations of a possible downtrend and possible reversal, in which it could have been an extreme pullback to the downside. So therefore, we executed part of the trade due to the expectation, even though we were expecting more uptrend. So it was more as a peace of mind in the trade and also as to yourself. Then also exiting again before our last target at more or less levels of 1.55 due to the fact of the extension on the price at that point. So right now, having more or less about more than 200 pips on the trade, we feel more comfortable in having the last portion of the trade to reach the last targets. So what is the whole meaning of the trade? That if we go from the macro perspective of a market, we can identify um, entries to the market, expecting what everybody else is expecting as possible free breakdowns going to reversals. At the same time, once the price has done his part, then we execute the trade. Then we recognize levels of possible pullbacks to the opposite direction, so we can enjoy the clean cut of the uptrend in this case, and then finally going into the final targets. So approaching two targets on this trade in the cable, just recognizing the real trend using our setups at SMB. So a trade that at the beginning it was initiated with 35 pips stop loss, now it's becoming more than 200 pips in return on profits. The psychological patterns used at SMB are those that have more or less a return of no less than 3 to 1. The higher the time frame and the higher the setup is, you're gonna get a higher return on your trade. So in this case, the setup itself is shown in time frame on H4, 4 hours, but the execution was based on a daily. That's why we waited for the fade breakdowns, in this case to go into reversal to activate and trigger the trade into the upside. So in this case was more or less of a perfect entrance into the rebound in the cable in the US dollar. So I just want to say thank you everyone for viewing this video, and if you'd like to get in touch with me regarding our forex program, you can email me to amsalazar@smbcap.com.